I've often been told that sales is the art and the science of getting a yes. And you know, I couldn't possibly disagree more. Perhaps extracting a verbal or even a written commitment through word games or trick closes may have some value in the sale of small ticket items door to door. I don't know, maybe brushes or Girl Scout cookies. Maybe becoming the Spanish Inquisition of salespeople would work if you needed absolutely no contact with your prospect after the yes was extracted. Unfortunately, folks, in the real world, rhetorical thumbscrews never work. In the real world of big ticket or account generation sales, commitments are not permanent. Customers are almost always free to reevaluate their decision at home after they escape the clutches of our inquisitional salesperson. Commitments made under duress will be immediately regretted and almost always reversed. A prospect who reverses the decision they feel they were manipulated into making will almost never return to give that inquisitional salesperson another shot at him. Our salesperson, who has learned to consider the most fleeting affirmation made by a prospect to be equivalent to an oath written in blood, will not blame themselves or their sales methodology. He will blame that fickle customer who once again changed their mind, and he'll move on to the next product or next prospect to use that same method on. So, what's it going to take to get you into one of them beauties today, buddy? The truth is, folks, in the real world, all verbal and even most written commitments or affirmations have one and only one value to a salesperson. A yes is only a temperature check on a prospect's desire to buy. In the final analysis, people will not necessarily do what they have committed to you they'll do. People will do exactly and only what they want to do. Verbal commitments are pretty much completely irrelevant. Therefore, truly effective sales is the art and the science of creating and focusing desire. Poor to average salespeople tend to try to manipulate their prospects' words and actions. Customers avoid poor to average salespeople like the plague. Now, good salespeople seek to create the desire to buy a product or service in their prospects. Good salespeople sometimes have their prospects close on them. And customers tend to tolerate good salespeople. But truly great salespeople have learned to take this process one step further. Truly great salespeople have learned to present their product or service as the detailed, complete, and total fulfillment of their prospects' pre-existing desire to buy. Truly great salespeople find out what their prospect truly wants. They then join their prospect in marveling at this remarkably lucky surprise that the salesperson just happens to have the complete fulfillment of that pre-existing desire. The salesperson then just does the prospect the personal favor of helping with the process of acquiring this long-desired product or service. Great salespeople can make their customers' Christmas card list. And there was a study done several years ago examining the customer's perspective of the sales process. An interesting trend emerged. The customers of average to poorly performing salespeople tended to report that the salesperson talked them into the buying decision. Now, on the other hand, the customers of the highest performing salespeople report that they intended to buy all along, and that the salesperson was just this nice person who helped with the acquisition and made sure all the details were correct. Now, at first glance, it would be real easy to say that, man, that must be nice. Better to be lucky than good, right? Well, a little closer examination shows that this initial perception isn't correct. It becomes apparent that the best salespeople learn how to make the sales process more invisible and painless. The average salespeople seek to change their prospects. Great salespeople learn how to change themselves at the subtle direction of the prospect. Average salespeople prepare for a sales interview by diligently rehearsing what they were going to tell their prospect. Great salespeople have absolutely no idea what they're going to tell their prospect before the interview begins. Great salespeople know that the prospect is going to write the presentation for them. Great salespeople prepare for a sales interview by diligently rehearsing what they're going to ask. So this is what we're going to discuss in our program today. We will discuss how to maintain and establish rapport with a prospect, understanding that until and unless a prospect likes and trusts you, you will receive no valuable information. We will discuss that in a sales relationship, what a prospect tells the salesperson is far more important than what a salesperson tells the prospect. We will discuss how to explore a prospect's needs and interests, paying special attention to both the source motivation behind the interest and to the specific terminology the prospect uses to describe them. We will discuss how and when to deliver a sales message to the prospect that illustrates the direct and specific relationship between our product and service and the prospect's pre-existing needs and interests. We will discuss how to illustrate this relationship using the prospect's own terms, not ours. We will learn to be almost as surprised as he is as to how good a fit we are for them. You and your prospect will discover together that he already wants exactly what you have to sell. And finally, we will discuss how to close and how to address final objections. Although if the relationship between our product and the prospect's desire has been effectively created, the prospect is probably going to close on the salesperson. So let's get started.